Hello and welcome to Coming Home with Mama T. I'm your host, Tiara, aka Mama T. And on this podcast, we explore the journey of creating the life of our desires through mastering manifestation, maintaining a positive mindset, and living luxuriously. Today, we have a very special message. Today, I want to walk you through a forgiveness ritual. This morning, I did a ritual and it just felt so good to me that I felt like I had to share it with you here. And I truly believe it is important that we regularly, tap into forgiveness and find forgiveness for ourselves and those around us because it creates space. It allows spaciousness for new relationships to be connected. It allows spaciousness to find love and feel love. It gives us space to tap into those higher vibrational frequencies when we're no longer holding on to anger, resentment, fear, frustration, and all of that, when we truly allow. And forgiveness is a practice and radical self responsibility. Because honestly, when we're holding on to these emotions against someone else, it doesn't hurt that other person. That other person might be intuitive enough to know that you're feeling some type of way, but they get to choose how they respond to your feelings, right? So in theory, it's like that sipping of poison, right? Like drinking poison, expecting someone else to die. You're hurting yourself at the end of the day, holding on to that resentment, holding on to that anger, holding on to all of those feelings and vibrations. That is a choice that you make for yourself. And so when we're in this space of taking radical self-responsibility for living an extraordinary life, that means that we have to take responsibility for ourselves. We have to really step into a place of power and strength. And I understand that there are some times where we just want to be that human, right? Be that human and tap into our own like toddler moments and scream and rage and be angry and feel all that. And that is okay. I'm not saying that we have to be perfect all the time. We are having this human experience, and that's okay. But it's good to acknowledge where we are. It's good to know ourselves and not just let ourselves fly off the handle because we're having this experience, right? Having that self awareness when we're triggered, having that awareness in the moment to be able to say, you know what, I need to just step back so I can make sure that when I come forward, it is my best version of self. That is your power. That is your strength. That is your radical self responsibility. When we're in this space and we're saying that we're going to be leaders in this world, that is a choice. Now, if you're not choosing to be a leader, if you're not choosing to be responsible, then that's okay. That is, again, your choice. There's nothing wrong with it. But I know that I speak to leaders. I speak to people who are ready to take radical self responsibility for living an extraordinary life. So, with that, let's tap into forgiveness. I invite you to take a deep breath in and out, in and out. And start thinking of the people, the places, the things that you want to forgive, including yourself, including God, source, the universe, for potentially bringing in situations that have felt like a struggle, felt heavy, felt discomfort for you. Think about all of those things. Let it wash over you. It is okay. I want to encourage you, if you are in a safe space to do so, to get in a place where you can get comfy, cozy. You can sit crisscross applesauce on the floor in your chair, put your feet grounded on the floor if that feels good for you. If you are happen to be somewhere near nature, maybe even taking this conversation and some headphones and going on a nice walk and just allowing the breeze to blow across your face and really tapping in, hug a tree, sit underneath a tree, really just allow yourself to truly be and feel in this conversation today. I feel called to talk about my ritual before we begin with doing some energy work. So that'll give you some space to get where you need to go so you can fully tap into this message here today. So for me, it was inspired by being a part of this personal development call that I'm in, and we were talking about forgiveness. And as the my mentor was speaking, I felt called to like like I was listening and I was taking in. But I'm the kind of person that I learn by doing and taking action and things. And I truly believe a lot of the messages that come through, whether it's like reading a personal development book or being a part of a program or whatever, working one on one with a coach. Um, a lot of that is remembering, right? Like it's not like they're providing me any information that I didn't already know or that I didn't already have access to. It's just kind of like I see them as like a guide, and that guide is a trigger. And I see myself also as a guide, right? I'm a guide and a facilitator, but you, as the listener, the viewer, the client, are doing the work for yourself so that you can move to the next level. And when I am in that situation of learning and remembering, then I am in that space of doing the work to move myself forward. So I was listening and I was like, I know where this is going. I feel this. I got it. I'm hearing and I'm inspired. And I started doing my work. I pulled out my drum. I pulled out my selenite daggers, I guess is the best way to call them. They're these beautiful daggers, and they're at a different place. Otherwise, I grab them so I could show them on screen for you. But they're these beautiful daggers, and I like to envision cord cutting when I do forgiveness work. And it's more like, okay, like if I feel like I'm really holding on, like I keep replaying a certain moment in my life with this person, place, or thing. If I keep like just feeling resentment or anger or anything that I just don't want to, I no longer want to hold on to, I envision that we are tethered together with this thread. And for me, it's like a thin thread. It's not like this huge rope that we have to like hack at, but it's just this beautiful thin gossamer thread. And sometimes it's like golden and it's bright and it's connecting when I envision like my tethers to different people. Sometimes it's more like a silvery light glow, and I feel like the golden ones are like the people that I'm like closest to, that know the most about me, that I'm most vulnerable with. It's like the brighter of my relationships. And then the gossamer is kind of just like, everybody else. And there might even be distance, right? Like some are like really like far apart, and like some are kind of closer together, and that also signifies our closeness or our fartherness, about like acquaintances versus like besties and kind of things. So like that's kind of what I see in my mind's eye, and you get to see whatever you want to see in your mind's eye. But I like to take these daggers and envision that, like, you know what, I've cut the cord, because maybe the cord is corroded a little bit, it's gotten darker, it no longer has its glow, its shine, and I cut that cord because there's resentment going back and forth. I think of it as, what energy are we sending back and forth together, and am I consistently trying to send resentment to this person? And is that, like, if they are even receiving it, how are they feeling? And that's not love. That's not giving what I want to give, right? And I'm not feeling what I want to feel. So, you know what? I'm going to cut this cord. I'm going to cut this cord. And maybe down the line, we can bring a new cord in. I like to see it as a brand new cord shows up. Um, if you are someone that's like, okay, like I want to forgive this person, but I don't want to have a relationship with that person, like we can talk about like more deeper work if you want to book like a one-on-one session, and we can do some deeper releasing. But with that, I like to think that we can always reconnect later. Maybe we need space from one another, and that's totally fine. And there's nothing wrong. There's no right or wrong person in this conversation. We just have to figure out what we need for ourselves. And I'm going to do another conversation about like being nice and kind to ourselves as well as the people around us, because I do feel like sometimes we get into our heads when it comes to forgiveness and letting go of other people, but that like we can't let them go, because if we let them go, then we're no longer a nice person, we're no longer a kind person. But in not letting that person go, are you really being nice and kind to yourself? And are you truly being nice and kind to that other person if you're holding that resentment, if you're holding that anger, if you're holding that sadness, if you're holding all of these vibrations? And so like honestly, I think the nice and the kind thing to do would be to just cut the cord and allow something new and fresh to start over. Right. And this is all beautiful and symbolic, but I encourage you to like do the work and see how it shifts and changes in your life. See how you show up. When you forgive someone, when you truly forgive someone, you are no longer holding on to that anger and resentment. And maybe there has been so many things that's happened with a person. Maybe you've lived around them for a very, very long time and you have a catalog of all of the things that you feel they have done to you that have hurt you, whether they've done it intentionally or unintentionally. If you have this catalog, you might have to do deeper work with that person. And I'm happy to do a healing session with you on something when you need something deeper. But a lot of times, especially it might be like a slight little transgression that we're holding on to, that you're like, why did like I'm remembering something from high school that this person did to me. Like I haven't even seen this person in like 15 years. Why am I even holding on to this? Like, let's cut that cord and let it go. And you cut that cord and let it go, and maybe that person randomly like reaches out to you on Facebook and says something to you. Maybe nothing happens, right? Except for something does happen because you have this open space, right? You're no longer carrying that. You're freer. You're less heavy because there is not so much tension holding you onto you in that anger space, in that resentment space, in that sadness space, in that triggered space. You're no longer triggered by it because you let it go. And that can be a hard part in that radical self responsibility space. When we are holding that radical self responsibility, there's this duality. I can choose to be the responsible me. I can choose to be the healed version of me. I can choose to do this. But if I choose this, then I no longer get to hold on to this. I no longer get to accuse the other person of the wrongdoings that they've done to me. I no longer get to bring this person up in anger, bring this person up in frustration, bring this situation up. I no longer get to play here because I'm playing here. It's one or the other. So when you're ready to really step into choosing the higher road, quote unquote, if you will, choosing the empowered route, choosing the responsible route, choosing the healed route, then you truly have to let it go. You truly have to forgive. And I understand that that can feel like a lot, feel like a struggle, but it's your choice. Which do you want to choose? Do you want to hold it on, or are you ready to move on? And only you can choose when it's that time for you. But for those of you who have a list of things, people, places, situations you're truly ready to let go of, I invite you to close your eyes if you're in a safe space to do so. Come into resonance with me with a deep breath in and out, in and out, in and out. I invite you to see yourself in your mind's eye, sitting in a room, a large, large room. It's dark, and you are just there with you and yourself, breathing, becoming one, taking your time, clearing the mind, knowing that there is nothing else for you to worry about, think about, do. You simply are. You get to be in this space right now. And as you sit in this space, you start to see figures pop up all around you. They can be faceless. They can have a face if you desire them to, if you know exactly who it is that you want to talk to or work with right now. Bring those faces up. Otherwise, you can also create just an energetic visualization, a humanoid vision in front of you. And as you see all the figures surrounding you, coming up around, some with faces, some without, maybe all with faces, maybe all without, envision strings, the strings coming between you and each individual figure around you. They can be strings, they can be ropes, whatever feels good for you, whatever feels good to connect you with these individuals. As you see these figures and your bindings between one another, find the ones that feel most dis-ease, tight, and resistant, and simply pluck them away. Unplug them from your body, from your heart, from your mind space. Just let them go. You can also envision maybe taking a match and lighting them. Envision them burning off from you into that other figure, that other person, place, thing, situation. Simply cutting the cord and burning it off so that that old cord cannot tie itself back together. It is completely dissolved. It is away. And as you cut these individual cords, you can say, I forgive you. I forgive me. I forgive us for whatever it is that has been triggering, whatever it is that has brought upon emotions that you are ready to let go of. You say, I let go. I release. I forgive. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity for growth. Thank you for this opportunity to connect. Thank you for this opportunity to learn what I will and will not accept. Thank you for the opportunity to understand boundaries. Thank you for the opportunity to understand myself. Thank you for being a mirror of me, to me, for me. I forgive and I let go. It does not mean that I condone the actions. It does not mean that I accept them as right or wrong. I just let go so that I can be at peace. So I can speak from a place of peace and love for me, for you, for us and our collective. I choose to be empowered. I choose to be my strongest self. And I choose to take radical self-responsibility for how I carry myself in this world, my relationships in this world, my connections, my cords, my tethers and ties. I choose to cut those that are no longer serving, forgive them for anything that has triggered, hurt me, and I thank them for the opportunity and let go. Knowing that if we are meant to continue down the road together, that a new, brighter, happier, clearer cord can show up and connect us back. I have faith that I know who I am, where I'm going, who is best for me right here, right now. I am here in the now. letting go of the past, and allowing the future to show up as it comes. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I see myself as squeaky clean, bright light that I get to share with the world. Mm. Say it with me now. I forgive. I am forgiveness. I am love. I am peace. And I get to be here in this moment and carry this energy with me wherever I go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When you're ready, I invite you to come back into the space. You're more than welcome to pause and just hold until you feel like it is time to come back to the physical body. When you feel complete in your connections, in your healing, and your forgiveness. If you are ready, I invite you to bring movement to your fingers and your toes, to the heart space. You can sway side to side to get into that body. And slowly but surely blink your eyes open. Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for your time and your love and your connection here. Remember that whenever you're feeling the need to do some forgiveness work, you can come back to this episode. I also invite you, if you would like to do a deeper conversation and a deeper healing, to book a one-on-one session with me. You can book whatever time frame you feel is right for this work. And hey, if you have more than just the forgiveness work, if there's more things that you want to work on, maybe a general healing, maybe a divination, maybe some coaching, you can book a longer session and we can bring in all the things that can fit into that time slot. I also want to invite you to check out the home membership community. I am holding sacred space for this place. And as of right now, it's just me in there. It's me sharing my stories, sharing potent remedies and recipes and ideas and concepts and masterminds. So there's already richness in there just waiting for you to join. So with that invitation, and that understanding that, hey, you get to be a founding member. Being that founding member also gives you the opportunity to have more one-on-one time with me, more space with me, and knowing that this space is going to continue to grow and thrive. And one day we'll reach a point where even having the opportunity for creating a affiliate. I want to do that one day. So these ideas, so once you're already a part of the membership, having the opportunity to, when you feel call to sharing a personal link and getting a kickback for that. So I'm really excited for the growth and the expansion to come to that community, because I know that it is a space for us all to grow together. And I'm excited to be a guide and a facilitator in that. But I'm also excited for you to step into your power and your leadership and share your stories and find your voice in that sacred space. And if you're like, okay, that space sounds awesome, but I also want that one on one attention, that deep dive, that connection. Because I will say that, yes, while you can join the home membership community and have the benefit of less people in there, all of our conversations will be recorded and posted in that space. So if you're like, okay, but I really want private, I want to have full vulnerability, I don't want a community to see all the things, then you can join the membership or the mentorship program. And so you can have that 90 minutes twice a month with me to chit chat, to talk all of those things, do the work, and then still have access to the home membership community. So there's so many different wonderful avenues for you to tap in. And if you're, not ready for the membership or one-on-one work or mentorship, that's okay. We still have this beautiful podcast that airs every Monday and Thursday. Turn on those notifications, set a timer, whatever you need to remind you to come back to the space and get the goodness twice a week, right? Um, and then there's also the Activate Your Inner Shift meditation series. So you can tap into that anytime and listen in on shifting those beliefs within you so that you can really fully step into your power, your radical self-responsibility for living an extraordinary life. And with that, I say ta-ta for now, and I love you so much.